People, FlyingSoul still alive from Novosibirsk. Today it's a last video that I'm going to do in this flat because, as I told you in the last one, I had a party just because I'm moving out, and tomorrow actually I will move to my friend's place. But anyway, while I'm still here, I would like to give you some tips about Novosibirsk, and in general this kind of tips works everywhere in Russia because it might be interesting for you, I think. So, first of all, it's a little bit about food. You know, every supermarket or just normal shops that sells food, they have a special fridge where they put all the exotic food. And it's interesting that here, I mean, if we are not used to such places, that salad, it's considered as an exotic food. Salads in general, they sell like 2, maybe maximum 3 types of salads, and not every shops, just some of them. Some others just don't have it because most of the let's say vegetables are roots, like carrots for example, or potato, and this kind of food that are usually, I mean, roots that usually grow up under the soil. So salads is one of the, because of the climate of course, salads is one of the exotic. And the interesting fact is that it's sold with entire plant, like roots and soil. So they have like the plant, a small jar with the soil inside, whereas the plant has its own roots. That I found really interesting and I found really useful. Because you can eat your salad for many days and it will be always fresh. Like, I don't know, maybe for a week. Maybe if you put it in the fridge, I did it once. You put it in the fridge and you can stay for a week there with a jar and the soil, because it still gets vitamins and whatever it needs to be alive. Then something interesting also is that you cannot find here. You can find a lot of exotic, but not all the exotic food, even in big supermarkets. Like for example, it's very, very popular here, mango, and avocado. Avocado, these 2 types of fruits that are, of course, that are not typical of this region of the planet, are very popular everywhere. But for example, they don't have papaya. That's one of the fruits, exotic fruit that usually grows when you have avocado and when you have mango. But this type of fruits doesn't exist here. I mean, I never saw it anywhere. Then, apart of food, another tip is about intercom. I don't know exactly in United States how does it work. I've been there many years ago and I don't remember. But in Italy, every intercom has the name of the family or the person who is living in the flat, and not the number. While here, everything is by code. So you have to know not just the address, but also the number of the flat. Because when you go to the intercom, you have to call the number, and you have to know the number of the flat, and you call it in the interphone. Another interesting things that I'm going to show you now is this. You can see. This is like a sort of magnetic or chip inside that is used to open automatically the door. Which is okay in some way because it's very fast. I mean, you put it and you just open the door. But on the other way, there is no key. So it means that, for example, if there is a blackout, there is no energy, you cannot open the door the entrance of your building. So for me, it's really strange because in Italy, for example, every entrance has the key. Every entrance. Of course, there are some automatic, but usually there is also the key. But here in Russia, no one. All the entrance to the building has automatic. Automatic key. Only with this you can open the door, otherwise there is no other way. So all the intercom, as I told you, has the code. So you have to know the address and the number of the flat. This is another special things about Russia. Not just in Novosibirsk, you can find it everywhere in Russia. Then I would like to talk to you something about, just because I'm talking about buildings, I want to talk to you about renting flats. You know, buying, selling, and renting flat here is a way more faster. It's way faster than any other place in Western countries, because it's really when, for example, if you're looking for a flat to rent and you search through internet, mostly through internet, because as I told you in a previous video, here internet, everything is on a digital way. It works better definitely than in Italy. So the digital part here is very developed. So when you're looking through internet about a flat and you found it once that you like, you just go and see the flat like personally, and then you have to decide quickly, immediately, because if you don't take that flat, there will be just some others that is going to come in. So usually you don't have time to think about it. You cannot just say, oh, I'm gonna think like a few days or maybe a week and then I will decide. No way. Because they need an answer immediately. Because there are some people, I've been told this, that some people even come just straight with their suitcase, with their luggage, and come and just take it the flight immediately. That's because the market here is very easy. When you make a contract, for example, this flat that I rented, it was very easy, and the contract says that the only obligation for me towards the owner is that if I want to leave this place, I have to give like 2 weeks advice in advance. So it's just only 2 weeks, and that's all. I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to stay here, for example, like 3 months, 1 year or more. I just can leave whenever I want. I just have to give like 2 weeks of advice before, pre-advice. And it's very useful, but on the negative side that you don't have a time to look to different flats and then decide which one you prefer. Because as soon as you see a flat that you like, you have to take it. Otherwise, there will be another person soon after you that is going to take it. For example, this flat, when I found it, the owner published the advertisement the same day that I saw it, and the same day I came here to visit. So it was immediately. That's why I could take it, and it was not that much expensive for this type of flat. Then another thing I want to say, you know, a few years ago, President Putin promoted to fill up the population with Russian people, just to not lose like the heritage in some way. And he's been hurt, because nowadays when you walk around the streets, especially now in summer, because of course in winter you don't have the same chances, you see a lot of children, a lot of women that are pregnant. So it really works out. So a lot of people are having children, not just immigrants, but also Russians that are living here. A lot of children. That's why also every single yard in the city has its own place fit out with children game. Like this is a special place where the children can play. So if you have a family, or if you want to grow up a family, you will have a lot of infrastructures and also, advantages in some way. I maybe will tell you something more about this when I got more information about the rights when you have children. But as far as I know, here the government really help people that has children. Finally, one thing that I wanted to point a mark, it's about globalization. You know, globalization has negative sides and positive sides. When it comes to me, the reason why I left Western countries was mostly because of globalization. I'm trying to run it out because I'm against the unique thought, you know, when everybody is the same everywhere. So I'm always try to find a place who is like special, that it's different from others. That's why I was running always to the east, just to run it out for me. But I think that nowadays too, in this period of time, there's no other place in the world where we can run out from globalization. And just because of we are all connected 24 hours to the internet, so we got access to the same information everywhere. And this really spoiled human relationship. That's the worst part. And here in Novosibirsk, there's no exception, unfortunately. And I'm pretty sure that everywhere around Russia, and even the smallest places and villages, there is another big difference. So unfortunately, we have to deal with that. There's no other way. Of course, it has good sides, because when you have information at the same time anywhere, you can also develop quicker. And that's the good part. But unfortunately, in terms of human relationship, I think it really spoiled that. And I see, and I can notice it. I was noticing since the beginning. I mean, when I came here for the first time 7 years ago, in Russia, I mean, and then I lived in Kazan, and now I'm living in Novosibirsk. So the situation in terms of human relationship is changing very quickly. Then people are starting to move more than before. So a lot of people are coming from Western countries here to Russia, and the people are used to that. So there is no more curiosity as it was before. Of course, there is always some people that are curious about you, but the curiosity is going in less and less by the time. And that's unfortunately an aspect that I have to deal with it. Even if I still like to live here and I want to live here for a long time, I have to deal with it, that people are not more so like excited or like interested in getting in touch with me. So yeah, that's unfortunately the problem. And the rest, it's like more or less the same as I told you before when it comes to globalization. So that's all for now. I hope to give you some other special video in the future, because there's something going on. I'm trying to build, I'm always trying to be on the move and to give you some new interesting video. So stay tuned and see you for the next one.